On March 1st, 2023, Command 300, Rescue 301, Medic 331, Boat 371, 374 were all dispatched to the river to a witness jumper on the Holland Street Bridge. The Cedar River was higher than its norm and flowing fast and muddy due to recent rains and snowmelt. From the vantage I had on the bridge, I couldn't make out any possible victims. As we began relocating apparatus further downstream, as needed, Lieutenant Van Dyke had stated that he had eyes on the victim. JD was on his way back from lunch at the time and self-dispatched to the area. JD then started trailing alongside it on the east side of the bike trail. I parked 300, I took a lifeline from 305's crew, and I caught up with Lieutenant Van Dyke on the bike trail. At this point, I could see the victim and identify him by the report of his wearing a red shirt. He was floating on his stomach. Upon my meeting up with Lieutenant Van Dyke, the victim was originally 20 feet from shore. As Lieutenant Van Dyke and I trailed from the bike trail, the body slowly worked closer to the rocky shore. Near the halfway point between the 11th Street and 18th Street Bridge, the body went under a small log and debris jam on the east side bank. The victim did not reemerge at that time. We broke the jam apart, and the victim reemerged roughly 10 feet from shore. Both Van Dyke and I agreed that the victim was not floating nearly as high in the water. I called for an additional ambulance at this time. Lieutenant Van Dyke entered the water to grab the victim. I remained in ankle-deep water with 305's lifeline. Lieutenant Van Dyke remained in constant visual and verbal contact with me. Once at the edge of the shore, JD helped carry the victim to the concrete bike path and CPR was started. I believe that this is a rare case of exactly why we have SOGs and not SOPs. JD made a true risk assessment decision. He did not have a PDF, a PFD, or a rope. However, the victim was close enough and nearly out of sight. He had a partner with a safety device at the ready. I'm happy to present this certificate of merit to JD Van Dyke.